Alright, what's up everybody? So today we're going to be doing a review on Poison Ivy number 4. Alright, so we're going to be looking a little bit into this and just going to show you guys first the covers that I picked up. So I picked up obviously the 8 cover by Jessica Fong, and I picked up also the Jenny Frison one. Like I said, this one, it looks freaking amazing. It looks even better in real life. And like I said, look at all the detail. Like I said, Jenny Frison must have worked on this for a very long time. So a lot of hard work. And also to talk to you guys about it, there was an error this week, right? It was all messed up with DC. We were supposed to get a Sozo Micah for cover price. We ended up not getting Sozo Micah. Instead, we ended up getting a Zoe Thorogood. All right. This was supposed to be a 1 in 25 for issue 6. But it turned out that it was printed as a normal cover price. So it is what it is, right? Otherwise, I think the Jenny Frison one is probably the best cover of this week. Until I get the Sozo Micah, I can confirm that. So actually, I think I'm very much enjoying the story. And so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the story, and I'll tell you guys what I think about it. All right, guys. So here it is. Poison Ivy number 4. Let's take a little bit of more time to appreciate this Zoe Thorogood, man. Very awesome, man. It's kind of like some kind of Alice in Wonderland kind of theme going on here. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, let's take a look at Poison Ivy number 4 by this cover by Jessica Fong. Last time we left off with this story, she was somewhere near the West Coast and she was trying to get a job, right? She kind of took like this mental health kind of story, and she's traveling across the country, and we know that she is trying to kill off everyone, but at the same time, like on the way to doing that, she's also doing like these small good deeds for other people. So yeah, so that kind of clashes with Poison Ivy. You kind of see a little bit of that tension between inside of her. So this starts off right where she gets a job, and this issue kind of is kind of an observation, maybe a little bit of a critique of capitalism and the workplace, and how modern America works as far as like relationships between boss and employees. So here is she's talking to this boss. This guy's obviously like a hard ass. I think everyone's had the experience of having like that kind of boss who's just kind of a hard ass, who doesn't really care about people. He just kind of wants to meet deadlines. He wants to make profits. He's trying to see how much money he can save, and he kind of sees people as a cog, right? Part of the machinery, except that they come with like inconveniences, like they need to pee and they need to take breaks and they need to eat, right? And these things are like an inconvenience to them. And we get a little bit of that description, right? So this place that she ends up working for, let's see if I can get a little bit of that glare out of there. Hopefully it's not too glary for you guys. So she ends up working at this place. It's kind of like a FedEx, USPS kind of place, kind of a delivery Amazon type of place, right? Because we've heard kind of the storylines where like you have Amazon workers who are on such a short timeline that they don't have time to pee, right? Because there's a machine where they keep scanning and it keeps track of their activity, and they can't really lose any momentum, right? We've heard horror stories of workplaces like that. And this is kind of what she's doing. She's working at a packaging place. So I guess we answer why would she want to work at a place like this, and we get that answer a little bit. But we start exploring this workplace for now, as the new guy shows Ivy around, and we meet this new employee here. I believe her name is Jocelyn, right? And she's a worker here. I mean, the guy's a little touchy, right? Right off the bat, that's a red flag. That's a problem, all right? Especially in the workplace with the boss and stuff like that. That can be seen as an issue, right? We have to respect people's space, respect people's bubble and everything like that. But at the same time, we also have to kind of keep in mind that maybe a little bit of a culture aspect, but that can be like outside of work, right? The culture aspect in some cultures, like I know in some Latin cultures, Italian cultures and stuff like that, are more hands-on, right? They show a little bit more love, right? You always get these kind of stories of people who come from like overseas or come from like They literally move here from like paradises, right, to here to America. But you know, they come from places where they lived in poverty, but they lived on tropical islands and just full of life and full of people. You know, they kind of just lived on the beach every day. And one thing that I've heard people say, this is kind of a common theme of people who moved here to America, is how cold the country is, right? How efficient we are, right? We're just cold. It feels like a hospital almost, right? And they say it's not just the climate, but it's also the people. The people feel a little bit more cold, more distant. And you know what? You can see that. You can see that. For any of you guys that have kind of traveled overseas or abroad, you can tell that you know, cultures other places are a lot more lively. Even within the United States, where you go to these heavily populated minority areas, you can feel a kind of different energy, right? So I think that's kind of something to maintain in consideration. But even then, this is a no-no, right? Like, yeah, obviously you don't want your boss touching you unless you want to, I guess. So then we get a little bit interior look of it, and Takata, I think I'm gonna say we're here. Takata, I don't know if this is as detailed as the first issues. A lot of times we get to see that. We see like the first issues, the interior art is like amazing, and then it kind of like the lines start getting a little bit more less detailed, I guess. But this is still good, man, because it's still good where it counts, and you'll see that especially like in the close-ups. These smaller panels like this one, I don't think the details matter as much, right? Because you can still tell what's going on. I've seen some you definitely get worse art than this as well. So here we find out why Ivy decides that she's going to be doing this, right? She's doing this because it's a perfect place for her to spread her spores, right? This is a disease that she is infected with, and this is a disease that she wants to wipe out the humanity, right? This fungus. And the problem with Ivy, though, is that she keeps meeting decent people, right? Instead of seeing the world as ugly as it is on a macro level, she starts seeing the world on a micro level, from individual to individual. She starts seeing humanity in people and everything. So this is something that we can see it gets louder and louder, and kind of, you know, clashes with her you know, big plan of wiping out all humanity, right? But still, it seems that she is determined to do it, right? And so we kind of see this where she kind of works into a workplace, and she does not feel like, she feels like this dude touching her is not a good thing, right? So Ivy is who she is. She's still a villain, right? And this is what I still like, that she's still a villain, and when she's given a choice, she almost always, she'll choose violence, right? She has no problem with that. And she decides that she's gonna go fix this, right? But this is something I found interesting here, was like the conversation between the new workers and Ivy. Something where they say is like, oh, the new people, they always want to rock the boat, right? They always think they can change things and everything. And a lot of times you can feel that, you know, if you guys have had experience in workplaces, the new guys always want to change everything. They want to reinvent stuff and everything. A lot of times it doesn't work, but a lot of times it does change a few things, right? Because a lot of times it's maybe sparks an idea or encourages other workers who kind of know the workplace better. So I think that was kind of an interesting thing, right? Because workplaces can be very toxic, and they can really jade new people, especially if they're just being treated like, you know, like machines. Anyways, she gives a fixing to the old boss, right? The way she knows how. And this is where I think the art counts, right here, and these awesome panels right here, and lots of more detail here, and this looks great. So then she comes back and she tells him, hey, this guy, you know, he's not gonna bother you anymore. And this is where I've had my first hiccup with the story, right? So far, G. Willow Wilson has been knocking it out of the park with this. She's been doing an amazing job, and I have had no problems immersing into the story until this part right here, where you have Jocelyn just kind of like, when she gives her the news, oh, hey, he's not going to be bothering you, by the way, everything, and then she just kind of pounces on her and kisses her, right? Because it kind of goes against like, kind of like, all right, we were talking about the guy touching her, at the beginning, but then she kind of does the same thing where she doesn't respect the boundaries. But then you can kind of say that maybe, that's why she kind of let it slide with the guy, because maybe she doesn't have those kind of boundaries or whatever. But anyways, I just thought this was a little bit too fast, too forced. I think maybe if there would have been like a time jump or a little bit more, I think this would have kind of worked out. I think a little bit more. It just felt like a little bit rushed, right? Because I don't know if anyone, at least that I know that is reasonable, would react this way to the news, where they just kind of pounce on you, because she doesn't even know whether Ivy, Ivy, fortunately, Ivy does roll that way. She does play ball on that side of the fence. But we never know. Like, how did she know, right? Like, she was kind of just assuming, and just whatever. Like, I can understand like a hug or something, a handshake, or maybe a good hug, even if you're feeling really emotional and stuff like that. But I feel like a kiss to the mouth, man, that's like that's a lot. But anyways, we can forgive that, right? Because it's been pretty good. And in the over, I think this kind of seems like it's non-consequential either. Like, it doesn't even matter, at least going forward into it. I think a little bit. I don't know. Maybe one of these characters ends up being something, but we see that she does have a little bit of remorse because of the Harley Quinn. But I think one of the most important things that happens out of this little situation is that Harley Quinn, or Poison Ivy, decides that she wants to live now. Like, she wants to live. Like, she doesn't want to die from this disease. So I don't know if that's going to change her mind. Like, hey, I don't want to die, so why should these people die too? So we don't know. Like, Poison Ivy still seems to be determined to go through with her plan. But as we go further and further, along these issues, it seems like she becomes more and more conflicted, a little bit more confused about it. So, and I think this is just going to complicate things even more with her. So, and then we see this dude pop up, right? These are things where we've kind of been seeing in the past issues, whether this guy is like a some kind of illusion, or if she's just not seeing it. But here we see that it is actually real, because Jocelyn sees it as well. So that's kind of a confirmation to Poison Ivy. Oh, okay, I'm not insane. I have been seeing this creature. So one thing we were thinking of was, like, who is the villain going to be here, and whether Poison Ivy was going to have a villain. So we do have a villain, and she says the Green Man knows everything. So Pamela was referring to one of her bosses when she was talking about that guy, when she was having the interview, where she was like, oh yeah, I used to have a boss like that and stuff. So now we're kind of having kind of a, maybe was the Green Man like her boss, right? Is that who she was referring to? Is that her boss? Who is the Green Man? Is this guy the Green Man? Is he a messenger of the Green Man? Who is the Green Man, right? We want to know who the Green Man is. So my first thought was, okay, the Green Man might be the Swamp Thing, right? Because obviously, if Ivy is messing with plant life and everything, then by it automatically, Swamp Thing should know about it, because Swamp Thing is in tune with the green, unlike Ivy, and he can feel when things shift within the green. So I'm thinking maybe this is how they're referring to him. The Green Man is actually Swamp Thing, but it might not be Swamp Thing, right? It might be a completely new character or whatever. So, and then she kind of just walks out, and she's like, I'm going after the Green Man. So we're gonna see what comes up in issue 5 and issue 6. So we should be having see who the Green Man is in issue 5. Something tells me it's gonna be the guy on the cover. I'll show you guys the cover right here. I'll be doing cover previews for that. So, and then on 6 we should get a resolution for this arc, because initially this was supposed to be a 6-issue miniseries. So 6 issues should be giving us a complete story, and this has been extended beyond that. So hopefully they're going to be laying out some seeds, pun intended, for the future. So overall, even with that little hiccup that they had right there, I still really enjoy this. And even though the art it's not as fine as it was in the first few issues, it's still good. It's still very good, and it's not to where it takes you out of the story. So overall, I still thought that this was a good issue, especially the writing. because it brings a lot of questions with the workplace. A lot of the modern problems that we're seeing an issue seeing today, right? Especially that we live in a world where capitalism is like go 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 go, and we're also living in a place where packaging and ordering stuff by mail is like at an all-time high. So people who work in those industries are under extreme pressure to keep up with that demand. So obviously, I think this is a great story. Also, and I recommend it. I'm still on it. Love the error. I would hope to maintain. I'm still hoping to get a Sozo Micah. So because I was really looking forward to that. But till then, I think that this is going to be the cover of the month for Poison Ivy. So you guys let me know. What do you guys think? Do you guys kind of feel the same way about how I felt about that little moment we had there, or did you guys? Are you guys okay with it? Because ultimately, I'm okay with it. But if you guys had any other issues, or if you guys see it a different way, let me know in the comments down below. All right, you guys, see you guys. I'll be doing previews. Also, you guys let me know. I know some of you guys have been looking forward to my previews and have gotten into getting these covers. But you guys let me know how far ahead do you want me to do like the previews? You want me to do them like a week before so you can catch the FOC a month before, or if you want me to do them like a few days before. So you guys let me know what you guys think. All right, until then, guys, take care and stay cool. All right, peace.